Hello everyone, Xile Grayson here. I know we've had a lot of videos from me quite recently. I wanted to talk about something because I have been working on Zhead, which is the game that I've been working on, and I've just recently been 3D modelling a certain weapon from a certain game. And it's one of those games that I honestly think if you are going to get into first-person games and if you are going to be, you know, working with like militarized stuff, and you want like unique weapon mechanics and stuff like that, and unique Easter eggs. This is mainly about Easter eggs, mind you. But need to talk about where this video came from. So I was working on this weapon, and it's a unique thing. It looks like something from a steampunk game. A steampunk Call of Duty would actually be very cool. You know, let's go for something more fantasy. Don't want to go like with this whole glowing bullshit. You know, you can go fantasy, do that. And so it just looks like a piece of junk. But the thing where I found out about this was a game called Battlefield 1. And I know we've been doing Call of Duty, we never talk about Battlefield 1. But the thing about Battlefield 1 is the style. It still looks really good to this day. The weapons were brilliant to use in the game, like the whole automatic rifle, the M1903 experimental, which was like a rifle where you could pull the bolt out, put a new bolt in, put a pistol clip in, and you could turn it into like a fast firing short range weapon. There was also different weapons like a machine gun that had like 2 magazines, and you could switch from like ordinary rounds to fire rounds. Really cool. So you had all these cool mechanics. But the thing that I loved about Battlefield 1, and it was a shame that we didn't see much of this in Battlefield 5, was the Easter eggs. Now, with Battlefield 1, there was a lot of cool Easter eggs. People thought there was going to be a zombies DLC because there was one called Apocalypse, and there was a map in the base game where you could go to this place and you'd find this door that was chained. But if you waited and listened, you'd hear something was in there, and it sounds like there's a zombie. Now, funnily enough, there was a way of actually opening that door. And the way it's very simple. It was right in front of our eyes. Above the door, it says something like containment or quarantined or something like that. And basically the word above that door was the way to open it. And the way to open it was there was signs. But there was always something sticking out of each letter. And if you shot the sign down, you'd see a button. And if you put the buttons in the right order and then ran back, the chains would explode, the boxes would move, and the door would open. And you'd find this room, and you'd see blood on the floor. And there's a pipe. There's a little hole where you chuck grenades down. And when you do that, you suddenly hear the zombie. And if you do it in the right way, you will suddenly hear it get flushed into the pipes. And there's, I think you have to use your knife and hit them at the certain point on the pipes to basically flush the zombie through. And then once you do it correct, you'll find some turntable like valve, and you turn them in the right way, and you'd unlock an Easter egg where you get a dog tag, which gave you, I think it was like a QR code, or it was like a code, and it was the reveal for Battlefield 5, which was cool. And it played some of the music from Battlefield 1. But that's not the only Easter egg. And the best thing about this game was every DLC added another Easter egg. The first one was the Masterman Easter egg. The Masterman Easter egg was one of those Easter eggs where you literally had to go and find a quiet server, and you could not switch this off. You had to go and record the audio that you got. You would have to go and learn Morse code or get it translated into Morse code, and it would give you clues, and you'd follow those clues to a certain location. Each time to interact with this radio, you had to find some earphones on that map, and you'd run across to the radio and you'd find this radio. And again, once you got that, you got the Morse code, it would take you to a location. I think there was something you had to interact. You'd go back, the colour would change, and you'd be doing this constantly. And then finally, you'd get a dog tag. And on that after you've got that dog tag, you go back to the radio, you'll see blood red lights coming from it, and you'll hear the term Masterman, 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 and it will whisper, and it sounds very demonic. So you have that. Then the Easter eggs get even more complicated, right? I'm not going to go through the entire Easter egg of like how to achieve the weapon, but there were some cool things about it. There was one map where you had to use lanterns, and if you triggered the Easter egg correctly, the room would fill with smoke. You'd hear something like a monster appear, and you get a dog tag. There was another one where if you do the radios correctly, you'd suddenly in this room, you'd suddenly hear you drop the smoke again. You'd hear what sounds like the door opening and something being let loose. On that same map as well, there was really hard achievements to get these exclusive dog tags, which were Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And if you joined a team and each one had a separate dog tag, so if you had, you had Death, you had Pestilence, you had I think Vanity and War. If all of you had one of those, so if one of you there was just a set, the map would change. You'd suddenly see a blood moon. You'd suddenly hear in the distance the echoes of the horsemen riding, and it was scary, right? This is why I love Battlefield 1, because they bring horror into the game. The second, one of the most creepiest Easter eggs I ever found in Battlefield, and I did this one, was if you get a certain dog tag, it would find an angel, and on the back it would have a poem. The poem is what you need to do to interact with this Easter egg. There's a map with 3 angels, and on the poem you have to shoot the angels in a certain way. If you do it correctly, you'll suddenly hear the screams of them in the distance. You run down to the 4th angel, and there's a button. You interact with it, it explodes, and you get the dog tag. Then you'd also have a Morse code that you would need to do. And then you go to the lighthouse, and you'd have to turn these valves into the right order. And if you did it, you unlocked an exclusive skin with the Masterman symbol, which was a skull. Now, these were being added for each DLC. On the last DLC, there's an area, there's this little, like, caved-in bunker. If you did all the Easter eggs, and you've got every Masterman Easter egg, and you've got the machine gun, you would then have to go and you'd find this place with the Masterman Easter egg. Again, you'd have to enter the right code, and then you'd fall into a chamber. You'd have to run to all these different chambers, run in the right directions. If you got the wrong one, you'd be smoked, you'd be dead, and then you'd have to keep redoing it. But if you do it all correctly, you unlock an exclusive weapon, which is the Peacekeeper. And, you don't have that in Call of Duty. It's the fact that you have to take your time. You have to still keep the game open, but you have to go and do some work. You have to go and work it out. But the fact that you get an exclusive weapon, people can see you have took your time with that. You have fought for this. You have took every ounce of thought, intelligence. You've had to go and find the clues. You have put that effort in to experience that weapon, to get that weapon that not that many people have. I haven't got it yet. Probably never will. But it's such a cool thing, and I really hope that Call of Duty one day has a look at that and goes, we need to do that, and we need to improve on that. I hope Battlefield one day brings it back, because the Masterman was just brilliant. They did something called the Phantom program in Battlefield 4, which you've got like I think it was like a compound bow. Again, really cool. You would have to do something to unlock that. Really cool. I think games need to start doing this, where it's like, it's something that not that many people will see, but the moment you put all the time in, and those who follow the breadcrumbs, those who put the effort in, they get something unique that they can feel so proud and happy that they've got something that no many people have. And I think it's just worth it. It doesn't mean, oh, I've leveled up this weapon so many times, I've unlocked every achievement for this skin and stuff like that. That is nothing. That is just repetitive and constant. You just putting in the effort, and being the being from South Park, the one that has no life. But the ones who literally have took the time, you don't need to spend like ages, you know, grinding for that. You literally have to just go and take the time, use a bit of intelligence, use some skill, and find something that nobody else will. And to be honest, I loved the way those Easter eggs worked. I loved the way that they sounded. I still go and watch people unlock them because they are cool, and the atmosphericness of it is just perfect. And it's one thing that I do want to learn how to do in my own game, because I think that is something where it's like when you stumble upon a secret, that's it. You know, you've stumbled upon it, and you sort of want to keep it a secret because it's like it's something that you've discovered. It's your own thing, and then when someone else finds it, you know, you may have the Easter egg detectives who put it in the Wikipedia, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, do you want to share it to the world, or do you want to keep it a secret? But yes. So, thank you for watching. I really recommend, if you've got Game Pass, play Battlefield 1. I don't know how long the servers are going to be on for, because they have shut down some of the Battlefield servers before, which I feel sad about. I would love it if EA somehow get that Portal Battlefield where you can, you know, mix and match certain other games and put them into your map and stuff like that in your own game mode. I hope they put Battlefield 1 in there somewhere where we can get these unique weapons and use these, you know, unique gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, because they were really good. And if they ever want to bring Battlefield back to the moment of greatness, look at Battlefield 1. Go back and do Battlefield 1. Do a continuation of Battlefield 1, because it was unique. It was brilliant. Hell, maybe even go down the fantasy route. Have a diesel punk one where you got like a Zeppelin, and you got like Zeppelins and airships fighting off, and you fighting down on the trenches with like steampunk weaponry, like Tesla rifles and Howl automatics, you know, and you know, you got like steampunk cybernetics. Maybe do that. Maybe do something unique and do something like that as its own thing. I think it would have a market, and I think that's where you can suddenly monetize it if you wanted to put all the stupid crap. You could keep the realism to realism shooters, but the arcadeness you can add to that. You can create your own storyline. You can do whatever the hell you like with it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about for Battlefield 1. So as always, please like, comment, subscribe. Follow the links in the description. Neo Entertainment has now got a Ko-fi. So basically what that means is you can help donate to Neo Entertainment. Neo Entertainment is a group that I'm slowly building that will be not just for Xiled Ones, but there's games, books coming. You can even get a preview of the book right now. There's a few pages that I've put on there. It's really cheap, about 50p for 3 pages. It's still a work in progress, but I thought put something there for you so you can have a look. You can help donate towards Zhead, which you will have some sort of, depending on how much you put in, I will try and put some tier lists down so you can put your own money towards it and you can get interacting with it. But I do want to add in things like, you know, custom shop signs, so you can have your name in the game. You probably a poster or newspaper entry, maybe even a unique weapon name. I need unique weapon names because I'm not going to use the official, you know, copyrighted names. I'm not going to use like USP match and Winchester rifles and stuff like that. I want to have like unique names. So maybe you could have your name, your last name, or as your persona as a weapon name. Who knows? And yeah, so all the links are in the link tree. Neo Entertainment, you can go to ko-fi.com/Neo Entertainment, and there you'll be able to donate. I will put the link in the description as well, so you can go and visit. And as always, stay safe, my friends. Laters.